Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. Hope you're doing great today. This is episode 285 of the show, if you're keeping track. You know, it's funny, I find those who tune into the podcast version of Tech It Out, opposed to hearing it on your local radio station, they seem to cite the episode number when they reach out to me on social media. They'll be like, hey Mark, episode 284 was great. Where can I learn more about such and such? You get the idea. This is why I mentioned the show number off the top, by the way. And all the info about the guests and the topics, it's in the podcast description as well, if you do subscribe online. But hey, I welcome all radio listeners too, as Tech It Out airs on more than 100 stations every week. I'm super proud of that in my partnership with Radio America. And speaking of radio, I was on a few stations this past week, and TV stations as well, talking about TikTok over the past few days, with governments banning the social media app from all government-issued devices. A good idea, in my opinion. But that goes for all social media apps, as they all track user data and often location information as well. But because TikTok especially is a Chinese-owned company with a connection to its government, this is an overdue move on the government, in my opinion. And I talked a lot this week also about the TikTok self-imposed time restrictions coming to those who are 18 and under, who are super glued to the app. You're going to need to put in a passcode to keep watching after 60 minutes to help curb screen addiction. I know a lot of parents are concerned about that. And hey, a lot of parents are addicted to TikTok as well. Anyhow, I digress. We have a great Tech It Out plan for you this hour. We're going to start off with Vivint in a moment to talk about smart home tech and security systems. After that, on a related note, Emporia Energy will drop by to talk about monitoring the energy you use in the home with its various solutions and affordable ones to help save you money on your monthly utility bills. And finally, we're going to chat with Entity Academy, which provides women with IT training in areas like data science and software development to help them get well-paying jobs in these disciplines. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. I'll tell you more about ASUS shortly, but let's jump into our first interview. Thanks to technology, it's never been easier to protect your home, its contents, and most importantly, your family. But on the flip side, there's so many companies competing for your dollar. So how do you choose a security system or a platform that's right for you and your budget? And how does this all fit into the smart home craze? Well, for a chat about Vivint, a leader in this space, we're joined by Jim Nye, Chief Product Officer at Vivint. Hi, Jim. Thanks for your time today.
Hi, Mark. Nice to be here with you today.
Great. Before we talk all things Vivint, let's first clarify what a smart home is. Would it be fair to say it's a connected home?
Yeah, that's fair to say, Mark. At Vivint, we believe that a truly smart home ultimately delivers top quality security and also peace of mind to consumers. And this happens through connected devices that integrate and communicate with one another. So, Mark, the magic of a smart home, and particularly with Vivint, our smart home is when the devices come together and work in concert to create a really elegant consumer experience that also provides peace of mind.
Got it. With that in mind, I'm assuming some of the biggest smart home solutions today are not just the system itself, the security system, but lighting, cameras, of course, play a role, smart thermostats, smart door locks. And if I'm not mistaken, I reviewed a couple of years ago a Vivint garage door opener that was also connected to your system and tied to security as well.
Yes, that's right. All of those products, smart doorbells, thermostats, cameras,
right,
and more are often critical components in a customer's overall smart home solution. Beyond those individual devices, however, like I mentioned, it's really when all those things work together. So imagine you come home and disarm your system, for instance, and it automatically turns on lights for you and changes your thermostat setting and does a variety of things, all with the press of a button, just by you coming home.
Talk to us about Vivint.
Like I've mentioned, it's about a system of products that come together in a platform that makes your home safer and smarter, really more efficient. Our platform ties everything together effortlessly and seamlessly, and it's all powered by one central app that allows you to control everything. So imagine, often you'd have an app for your doorbell camera, you'd have an app for your smart thermostat, a separate app still for your garage door controller, and you've got to jump around to all of these different apps. We bring all that together, seamless fashion, into one app so you can control and have visibility into the whole system in one spot, and creates a lot of value for our consumers. In addition, just to give you one product example, our Outdoor Camera Pro is the only surveillance camera on the market to offer Smart Deter. And what Smart Deter is a powerful AI tool that not only identifies threats, but also prevents break-ins by warning lurkers on your property or someone who doesn't belong on your property that they've been spotted. Typically, Mark, security has been done at the perimeter of your home, say the doors, windows, and you want to keep someone from breaking through that perimeter. We take a different approach where we go from that perimeter out. We don't even want would-be perpetrators to get to that perimeter. And so through a combination of lighting, audible tones, like a simple little whistle or a beep, lets them know that the home is aware that they're there. And then they typically just scatter and they never even get to that perimeter of the home.
Sounds like a good deterrent. Yeah, I'd agree that most security systems are reactive, but this sounds like it's more proactive, leveraging artificial intelligence.
That's exactly right.
And congrats, by the way, on winning I believe it was Best Overall Home Security System by U.S. News & World Report, as well as Best Professionally Installed Home Security System and Best Wireless Home Security System. So what would you say are your top-selling products today? And I know it's a family of them. A second question is this a modular system? Like you can add onto it as you see fit over time or as budget permits?
Yeah, that's right. So first off, thank you for the congratulations. It's always rewarding when third parties that objectively evaluate our products against the rest of the industry, validate our efforts toward best-in-class smart security solutions. And quite frankly, Mark, it really keeps us motivated to continue innovating. We're not going to rest on our laurels, even though we are really proud of our technology and our products and services. To your second question, it is a system that you can add on to. Currently, some of our top-selling products include our Doorbell Camera Pro, which includes package protection, and our Outdoor Camera Pro with that Smart Deter experience, which I described, and then Spotlight Camera Pro. So just to give you a quick sense of what Spotlight Pro is, that is a light that is attached to our outdoor camera, which uses the computer vision of the camera and then has 9 independent LED zones so that if someone is on your property, the computer vision follows them, and then the light also dynamically can follow that person. And then either go into a kind of a strobe light or a waving light type of configuration, which adds deterrent and really gives the impression that home is aware of what is going on.
We're chatting with Jim Nye, Chief Product Officer at Vivint, about smart home technology and focusing primarily on security and peace of mind. And your products, you said, are all controlled by what you refer to as a centralized app or central app. I get that, and that's certainly convenient rather than having to open up an app for each different device you have in the home. But is there also smart speaker support?
Yes, that's right. I find it hugely convenient as well, Mark. And from Vivint's smart home app, users can control their entire smart home in one location, like you've described. We also can connect to customers' favorite smart speakers for control with the voice. We really found that a lot of our customers love that. It's a great feature.
And is it supported by Amazon, like Alexa, Google, and Siri, HomePod with Apple?
Currently, it's supported by Amazon, Alexa, and Google.
Okay.
We're not integrated yet with Siri.
All right, fair enough. For your alarm system and cameras, can you walk us through what may happen whether you're home or not? You already kind of painted a scenario about someone walking onto your property.
Sure, Mark. Here's an example. So the moment a would-be burglar enters your driveway, like I mentioned, Spotlight Pro can light up, follow that burglar, and then play an intense lighting pattern. If they continue to approach the home, then the Doorbell Camera Pro activates a light and sound alerting them to the fact that they're being caught on camera. And that's another point at which the would-be burglar will likely choose to flee. But if they persist, and let's say, for instance, they break a window, then the sensors, glass break sensor, will immediately detect the activity and set off your alarm. A Vivint agent will then come over a speaker in the panel, ask if everything's okay. If there has, in fact, been a break-in or they're unable to reach you, then we will immediately dispatch emergency services. And that's all included in our professional monitoring services. So it really gives a would-be burglar many points at which to flee that situation. But if they don't, heaven forbid, then we're there to dispatch emergency services as well.
Okay, thanks for that. As we wrap up, how do we get going?
We believe that customers are best taken care of with a professional system, which is customized and scoped and really tailored for the customer's home so that it works right away. You know, our customers can be assured that their homes and loved ones are protected from day one. And we feel like that's best accomplished through a professionally designed and professionally installed system.
And it's Vivint.com, Vivint.com.
That's right.
Great to chat with you, Jim. Thank you so much for your time and continued successes with Vivint. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mark. It's been my pleasure.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. This show is powered by ASUS. For those in search of incredible, ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, including the ZenBook laptop that I'm recording this radio show and podcast on right now, by the way. Super reliable and ridiculously thin. Love it. They also have computer accessories like keyboards and mice and monitors, routers. They also have mobile tech, a whole gaming line called ROG or Republic of Gamers, and so much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. By the way, just a side note here, I'm dog sitting a beautiful but 130-pound Bernese mountain dog named Mowgli, and he's beside me here and lets out these big sighs once in a while. So just a heads up, I'm allergic to dogs, hence my stuffy sound this week, but it's so worth it. My wife Kelly and I love dog sitting, even though I am allergic to it. And yes, even the hypoallergenic dogs, which the Bernese is not, of course. There's hair all over the place, but there's dander and the saliva and all that. So even when we have like a golden doodle and all that, I still react, but I love it. Anyways, Mowgli is just such a suck. He wants attention all the time. So he's lying by me as I am recording this. So just a heads up. Hey, I like being honest with my listeners, and who doesn't love a beautiful dog, right? But I need to go take an allergy pill or something. All right, enough about me. Let's continue on with smart home technology. We just spoke with Vivint. Now let's talk about managing and monitoring all that energy you consume in the home because, hey, our utility bills are getting out of hand. So let's get to it. We cover smart home tech often on this program, including ways it can help not just with automation and thus convenience, but also cost savings, especially given rising electricity and natural gas costs in the country. On the program, for the first time, we're joined by Sean McLaughlin. He's CEO of Emporia Energy, a company that offers several solutions for homeowners. Thanks for your time, Sean.
Mark, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Before we talk about specific solutions, please tell us a bit about Emporia Energy.
Mark, here at Emporia, we like to say we are revolutionizing home energy. So we've been working really hard for the last 5 years, bringing our smart home energy management system to market to help people reduce energy spend and lower their carbon footprint.
I was going to ask you why this industry needs overhauling, but I think you already hinted at it, and I did as well in my intro, that electricity rates are on the rise. I mean, virtually everywhere across the country. And tech perhaps can help us shave some money off of our monthly utility bills.
That's absolutely right. You know, this country has done home energy the same way for the last 100 to 150 years, and technology is disrupting just about every aspect of our life. And so we thought it was high time that we applied new technology to help more efficiently think about, manage, use energy in our homes.
Okay, so with that in mind, let's start with your energy monitors from Emporia. Are these the devices that you would typically connect to an electrical panel first?
They are. They're kind of the backbone to our home energy management system. So these are installed inside your electrical panel. We collect real-time energy data, not only for your whole home and building, but for each individual circuit inside your electrical panel. We sample actually 3,000 times a second and then average that over a second data, send that through a home area network up to the cloud and back to the consumer through both a mobile app and a web app. And we can show you exactly how much you're spending on your air conditioner or exactly how much you're spending to charge your electric vehicle, right? So that circuit level energy management system. Yeah.
How does it know that you're running, say, the dishwasher opposed to a washing machine?
Right. So we use 50 amp current transformers that you clip on to each one of your poles coming out of those individual breakers in your electrical panel. Right. So like if you think about your major energy consumption, most of those are using 240 volts. So your air conditioner, your dryer, again, your level 2 EV charger. And so those are going to be independent breakers that will see exactly how much energy you're using. You also have breakers where you share or loads that share different breakers, like your kitchen, and it might have multiple appliances. So we'll show you, hey, your overall kitchen usage is X. Then we actually have smart plugs with energy monitoring. So within that circuit, you can get the individual appliance through the smart plugs.
I'm a big fan of that smart plug product category as a whole. We'll learn what makes the Emporia solutions unique. But just going back again to that electrical panel. So these are energy monitors. Is there a brand name or is it Emporia Energy Monitors?
Well, we like to call it the View. So it's the Emporia View. We actually are on our Generation 2 product and we're bringing our Gen 3 product out later this year.
Cool. Are they easy to install or should you have it professionally done?
We do recommend a professional electrician does the install. You will be opening up your electrical panel and clipping on these current transformers. And so if you're not really familiar with your electrical panel, it's always best to have an expert to come out and install your system. We do get some, do-it-yourself, some venturists, some retired electrical engineers that do their own installs, but we recommend, if you're not really familiar with your panel, to go ahead and hire a professional.
Good idea, just for at least safety's sake. What's the starting price for one of these View branded energy monitors?
So we actually have 3 different SKUs. If you want to get energy consumption on your whole home or building, they retail for $85. If you want to get 850 amp CTs, which will grab all of your major energy loads, your 240 loads, again, your washers, your dryers, your air conditioners, that's $125. And if you want 1650 amp CTs, where you can grab about 95% of the energy consumption in your panel, then you're going to be $165.
And that's a one-time fee?
It's a one-time fee. The energy management software comes free of charge with the purchase of the hardware.
Okay. We're going to continue chatting with Sean from Emporia Energy when we return. These are the View branded smart home energy monitors. There are different solutions out there. We'll chat pricing and the website and how these all work with the app and how you can add on to it. It's a modular system. We're going to get to all of that when we continue with Emporia Energy when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We are chatting with Sean McLaughlin. He's CEO of Emporia Energy, a Colorado-based company that offers several solutions for homeowners. As you hinted at earlier, Sean, you talked about smart plugs as well. Just to bring everybody up to speed, these are these little plugs that you would insert into an AC outlet, and then you plug something into that. It's kind of like a middleman, if you will, like a coffee machine, for example. And do these talk back with your View energy monitors?
Yeah. So again, the backbone of the energy management system would be that monitor. We also have the smart plugs. And so they all have individual connectivity to the cloud, but within the cloud, they're grouped together by account. And so you'll have one account and all of your devices will look seamless within your user interface or your web app or your mobile app. And so when you look at your energy consumption, let's say in the kitchen, and you have smart plugs, it will show your total kitchen load through the monitor and then the individual appliance load through those smart plugs.
And is this just for saving energy, or is there a convenience factor here? Like with my earlier example of like a coffee maker being plugged into that, could you theoretically, wake up in the morning, grab your phone and start a pot of coffee by just tapping on an app or using your voice with a smart speaker, thus turning let's call it a dumb appliance into a smart one?
That's right. We retail a pack of 4 of these for $35 for a little bit over $8 per plug. You can turn a dumb appliance into a smart appliance. And there's all kinds of convenience. Like we can turn it on and off based on sunrise and sunset. And so we love them in our home, just turning on and off lamps. When the sun goes on, we don't have to kind of change those timers as the sunset changes time. It just follows the sunset, and we'll change on and off timers, schedules. And then we have what we call, Mark, automated energy management tools. And so we can turn on and off smart plugs based on what else is going on in your home. So when your air conditioner or your oven kicks on, we could pause a smart plug. So we're managing the peak energy usage in the home.
Oh, I like
We can turn on and off smart plugs based on your utility rate schedule. So we can turn it on during inexpensive off-peak hours, and then we can pause that smart plug during the expensive peak hours. So you could be running fans or humidifiers or dehumidifiers just during the low expensive off-peak hours and pausing it during the expensive peak hours.
Yeah, I like that. Where I live, we have on, off, and mid-peak pricing. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So we've written to the utility, it's NREL, it's the Department of Energy, NREL's utility rate plan database. And so we can upload your rate schedule straight from the Department of Energy. And so we capture those really complicated rates, and then you can just set it up in our app of when you want to run based on your actual utility rate schedule.
Yeah, let's end off on EV chargers in a moment. So EV charging, with those smart plugs, for example, I could set it so that it will only juice up my vehicle in the middle of the night when rates are cheapest.
That's right. That's right. And same with our smart EV charger.
All right, so talk to us about that. So these are for those who own an electric vehicle, and it would be typically installed in, say, a garage?
Correct. Garage or outside of your house. It's a level 2 48 amps, so it's 240 volts, and it'll charge at 11.5 kilowatts. So depending on your make and brand, a really inefficient large electric vehicle like a truck would get about 20 miles per hour of charge. A Tesla that's really aerodynamic gets just over 40 miles per hour charge.
And you have different solutions, like different EV chargers?
So right now we have just our level 2. We have a couple different colors, right? It's a level 2 48 amp. We retail it for $399, so it's one of the best values on the market. One of the other neat features we have with it is we call solar-only charging. So if you have solar production in your house and our energy monitor, we can detect when you're producing more energy than you're using, and we actually activate the EV charger to absorb that excess production on site by storing it in your car battery. And then we can pause it when a cloud comes and you're no longer excess production.
Very cool. Before we wrap up, Sean, what's bidirectional EV charging?
Yeah, something that we're really, really super excited about, and we think is going to be an absolutely game changer when you think about the overall energy transition, but also when you think about the opportunity to really save people money at home utilizing their smart home devices. So we're designing and building a bidirectional EV charger. We're going to launch this product in the first half of next year. And this is a charger that you'll be able to plug your electric vehicle into, and we'll be able to pull power from your car to run your house.
So it's like an inverter.
Yeah, it's an AC to DC inverter that's inside your electric vehicles. So we'll pull DC power from your car. The power is stored in DC, and then we'll convert it to AC and be able to put it into your house. So during those real expensive times, again, peak hours prices can be 3-4 times more than off peak. We'll run your home off your car. And then during off-peak, we can fill your car back up. So it'll still be full in the morning, but we can reduce your home energy bills, your electric bills by 30, 40, even 50% in some areas of the country.
No doubt we're going to hear more about bidirectional EV charging in the coming months and years. And good to hear that Emporia Energy is proactively getting on board with this for early 2024. Thanks so much for your time, Sean. Great to chat with you. As we wrap up, what's the best website to learn more about Emporia?
Yeah, absolutely. It's emporiaenergy.com. And you can also find our products on Amazon. If you just go ahead and Google the Emporia name, you'll pop right up.
And that's EMPORIA. Thanks so much for your time, Sean. Great to chat with you.
Mark, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Hey, do you kind of peek through your fingers when you open your monthly utility bills? whether it's for electricity or natural gas, water use. I mean, it depends on where you live. Where I am, we pay through the nose for especially on peak hours. We have mid-peak, off-peak, and on-peak times of the day where we're charged different rates for using electricity. It's brutal. I mean, where I am, it's just crazy high and has been climbing. I wrote something for USA Today that shows how much it's been climbing. If you want to Google my name to read this article and all the ways that tech can help you save, you could just Google my name, Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, Saltzman, and some other words like USA Today and electricity or utility, something like that. And you'll find my article that was just posted. But I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on social media. Let me know if you're paying a lot for energy. If you use a solution like this from Emporia Energy, I can be found on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So I talked about social media earlier in the show and the controversy around TikTok, but I do use social media to connect to listeners. So be sure to hit me up. Once again, it's Mark, not with a K, but with a C. So MarkSaltzman. Let me know what you are paying for your electricity bills and if you maybe augment your home use with solar panels. Love to hear new solutions from you. Before we continue on with the show, we cover cybersecurity a lot on Tech It Out and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, about $10 billion to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses too, by the way. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. Learn more at visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. We learn about Entity Academy and STEM careers for women when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. It's unfortunate, but a fact, that women remain widely underrepresented in tech jobs today, in IT roles, even though a recent McKinsey report found that diverse companies perform better, hire better talent, have more engaged employees, and retain workers better than companies that do not focus on diversity. One organization is aiming to fix this, called Entity Academy, and we're joined by its CEO, Jennifer Schwab. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Sure. Why don't we start off right from the top? What is Entity Academy all about?
Sure. We're an upskilling platform that trains, mentors, and assists women with job placement in 21st century careers. We are particularly focused on areas of the job market where women are traditionally underrepresented. So data science, software development, cybersecurity, and digital marketing.
Just to take a step back, Jennifer, why are careers in STEM so important? Obviously, those based on science, technology, engineering, and math.
Sure. The STEM careers are important, first of all, for our positioning in the global marketplace. STEM careers help us drive innovation and keep our country competitive globally. We saw this accelerate during COVID quite significantly.
Sure.
At this point, STEM supports 2/3 of U.S. jobs, or $2.3 trillion in tax revenue. So that just puts some round numbers around how important tech jobs are to our economy.
And tech obviously affects every other industry out there. I mean, I think it's funny that car companies like GM and banks like Capital One say, no, we're a technology company first and foremost, so I think it's overhauling everything. So would you agree with my assessment off the top, Jennifer, that IT jobs are still very much dominated by men, or is it changing?
The sad truth is it's improving, but not fast enough. And that's one of the reasons Entity Academy exists. Women currently make up about 27% of the entire STEM workforce. But this can be a bit misleading because 80% of STEM jobs lie in computing and engineering, and women make up less than 20% of those jobs. Yeah. I mentioned that we are focused on data science, cybersecurity. Those are our two biggest verticals for women. And in both cases, we're talking 20% of data science jobs are held by women, and only 12% of cyber jobs are held by women. Wow. So we have our work cut out for us. The gender gap will not be resolvable unless we accelerate the adoption of tech jobs by women.
And what about the jobs by women at the C level, like the CEOs, CTOs, CIOs? Are those still mostly male dominated?
Well, 30% of all CEO jobs in the US are held by women. So that's an improvement.
Yeah, better than I thought it was. Still lots of work to be done.
Lots of work to be done. And those are at various levels of size. That can be a small startup up until Fortune 500 company. What we're seeing a trend towards is more women in senior leadership. I think business leaders have seen that with more women in C-suite roles, that companies are more profitable, they're more socially responsible, and they often have higher quality consumer experiences. So this is all coming from an HBS study that I was quite taken with, because everybody knows fundamentally that it's socially important to have gender equity. But when you start to look at the data, even the financial data speaks to the advantage of having women in these senior leadership roles.
Before we talk about how Entity Academy works exactly, because I'm curious how to get going for our listeners, what about pay disparity? A man holds the same job as a woman. Is there a discrepancy in income?
The last report that I received was women are earning about 82 cents on the dollar versus men. But the widest gap occurs with women of color. And then when you look at the motherhood penalty, this is where the gap widens even more. And so where we see more equality occurring is women that don't have kids are able to get that 82 cents up to 96 cents on the dollar. But as soon as women have children, the gap widens even more. And so we have to find ways to support women that have children at work, or women that take time off and then come back into the workforce.
So I would expect that. It's funny in Canada, because there's a 1-year mat leave policy for employers. In the United States, I know it can vary, but it's usually just a matter of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yet there's still that disparity, and obviously some glass ceiling challenges there. To what do you attribute that?
A lot of it is systemic in the United States. Women have been expected in most of the Western world to be the primary caregivers and to take care of children first and foremost. Mm-hmm. If you look back in the 50s, most women stayed home with their children, and they weren't expected to work. They were expected to prioritize their kids at all costs.
Yep.
And
leave it to Beaver.
And so, right? Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so the advent of having two working parents, I think that there's been some improvements, but we have a ways to go.
Yeah, no doubt.
When we look at areas of the economy that are ripe for disruption due to automation and the advancement of artificial intelligence, things like occupations such as retail associates, cashiers, 70% of those jobs in the U.S. are held by women, and there's a high automation risk.
Oh, I see.
We have to it's around 2.2 million women that have high automation risk in just those two occupations that I named. We have to find a place for them in the modern economy where they can make a living and in many cases support their children.
We're going to continue chatting with Entity Academy when we return on Tech It Out.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We're chatting with Jennifer Schwab, CEO of Entity Academy, devoted to closing the gender pay gap by training, mentoring, and placing women in 21st century careers. They've got an ambitious plan to upskill or reskill, mentor, and provide career placement opportunities to more than 1 million women by 2025. Before the break, we were talking about the gender gap in many of these IT roles. And we had to take a quick break, but you were talking about women going on maternity leave and how that impacts their income. And there's still a stigma attached to all of that. So please continue.
It goes back to what you're describing, that Canada has a year-long maternity policy, whereas the US, it varies across companies, industries, even geolocation. There's so many variables that go into this. We have a social responsibility to address this and to support women that need to find a place in our modern economy.
And how does Entity Academy work exactly? Let's end off on that and how our listeners can get involved.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in learning more about enrolling in one of our programs, please go to entityacademy.com. That's ENTITY Academy.com, entityacademy.com. And there's a phone number on the homepage, as well as ways to apply on the site. And we welcome any and all inquiries. And even if you are not looking to go into a program immediately, we can put you in touch with one of our career counselors just to learn more about what exists for women in the tech economy.
So is this online courses and certification? Is it leaning more towards placement? Can you maybe walk us through how it works a bit?
Sure. So our student experience starts with enrolling in one of our programs, and our programs are 8 months long, part-time. They take anywhere from 15 to 20 hours of commitment per week. They're all online. So it doesn't matter where you are in the U.S. Okay. You can apply. We also have a number of ways to finance students. We have about 8 different financing partners. So there's even opportunities if you don't want to pay immediately, you can pay upon finishing your program. And yes, we will not only help you with hard skills curriculum, which includes technical mentorship. We also have employability skills programming. So that's soft skills, critical thinking workshops, and business acumen training, as well as a career concierge that helps you with resume building and portfolio snapshots so you can show your best work to employers. We will prep you for your interviews.
As you mentioned, there's a lot to read at entityacademy.com. You can see all the different programs and sections on mentors and financing. There's testimonials. So again, entityacademy.com. Jennifer, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Great being here.
Hey, feel free to reach out on social media if you're in an IT role, or if you're a woman looking for IT work and you want me to connect you with Entity Academy, or maybe you're currently enlisted in one of their programs, their reskilling or upskilling programs or job placement, training, all that kind of stuff, mentoring. Let me know on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. It's Mark Saltzman, MarkSaltzman. Or maybe you run a small or medium-sized business or work for a larger enterprise, grade 1, and you're looking to boost your diversity and inclusion. I would love to chat with you and connect you with coders and engineers and the like from Entity Academy. So once again, hit me up on social media if you like. I always love hearing from Tech It Out listeners. Well, we're almost at a racetrack, but I do want to take this time to thank ASUS, the title sponsor on this program. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, mobile tech, gaming gear, and so much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. And speaking of computers, I also want to thank Western Digital. They were my guests on last week talking about some reliable external storage, offline storage that you do not need to pay a monthly fee for, like cloud storage. So be sure to back up your important information onto a WD external drive or a SanDisk solid state drive. Put it in a safe place just in case. I have my computer to make a backup to external storage every night in the middle of the night, just in case of something, power surge after a storm or a virus. I mean, there's so many things that can happen. You just need to protect your info, your important files, at least those irreplaceable photos and videos like home movies, important documents, and so on external storage. There's no worse feeling than realizing that something happened, a laptop was stolen, or heaven forbid, a fire or flood, and all of that is gone. So make sure you've got some solid backups. At the risk of sounding preachy, you can head over to westerndigital.com to check out some options. Can't believe they now have a 44 terabyte external Duo drive, a RAID drive that we learned about last week. All right. Hey, have a great rest of your day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Tech It Out, and I look forward to catching up with you next weekend for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.